Hello, dear students. I hope you all are in the best of your health and enthusiastic towards your studies. Students, today we are going to study chapter number 8 of grade 7, that is wind, storms and cyclones. So, first of all, let us see what we already know about this chapter. What is air? What moving air is called? Give some physical characteristics of air. Dear students, now let us see what we are going to learn in this chapter. Air exert pressure, relation between high speed winds and reduced air pressure, air expands on heating, wind currents, thunderstorm and cyclones, destruction caused by cyclones and effective safety measures. So, first of all, let us try to understand what is wind. As we all know that moving air is called wind. When speed of moving air is very high or less, then it causes ill effects. Sometimes high speed winds cause heavy destruction. For example, in 1999, Orissa was hit by a cyclone with wind speed 200 kilometers per hour. Thousands of people lost their lives and property worth crores of rupees was destroyed. The cyclone also affected agriculture, transport, communication and electric supply. These destructive storms are called cyclones. To understand cyclone, let us first talk about some different effects produced by air. So, first of all, we will learn that how air exert pressure. Look here, a child is trying to fly a kite, but he is not able to do that. Can you think why is it so? The kite is not flying because air blows in opposite direction to the motion of the kite. To fly kite smoothly, he should fly it in the direction of the wind. Then the air coming from back helps. This moving air is wind. How these winds occur? The difference between air pressure present in atmosphere causes wind. Have you ever thought how our lungs inhale and exhale air? Yes, the reason behind this activity is also pressure of air which works when we inhale or exhale. We know that air is a mixture of gases. These gases exert pressure on Earth's surface. This pressure is called atmospheric pressure. Air also exerts pressure on our body. Let us see an activity to prove that air exerts pressure. Take a tin can with a lid. Fill it half with water. Heat the can on a candle flame till the water boils. Let the water boil for a few minutes. Blow out the candle. Immediately put the lid tightly on the can. Be careful in handling the hot can. Put the can carefully in a shallow metallic vessel or a wash basin. Pour fresh water over it. Does any change occur in the shape of can? Yes. Can you guess why? The shape of can distorted. As water is poured over the can, some steam in the can condenses into water, reducing the amount of air. So, the pressure of air inside the can decreases than the pressure exerted by air from outside the can. As a result, the can gets distorted. So, children, from this activity, we can conclude that air exerts pressure. Wind speed and air pressure. Now, children, let us see how high-speed winds affects air pressure. For this, we are going to perform different activities. First activity. Crumple a small piece of paper into a ball of size smaller than the mouth of an empty bottle. Hold the bottle on its side and place the paper ball just inside its mouth. Now try to blow on the ball to force it into the bottle. Why is it difficult to force the paper ball into the bottle? When we blow into the mouth of the bottle, the air near the mouth has higher speed. This decreases the pressure there. The air pressure inside the bottle is higher than near the mouth. Hence, the air inside the bottle pushes the ball out. Let's see second activity. Take two balloons of approximately equal size. Put a little water in the balloons. Blow up both the balloons and tie each one to a string. Hang the balloons 8 to 10 cm apart on a cycle scope or a stick. Blow in the space between the balloons with the help of a paper pipe. What have you seen? Yes, you saw that when we blew over the balloon, they move towards each other. This happened because when we blew air between the balloons, speed of air increases there and the air pressure decreases. The pressure outside the balloons is more and hence it pushes them towards each other. Now, let us see third activity. Hold a strip of paper 20 cm long and 3 cm wide between your thumb and forefingers as shown. Now, blow over the paper and carefully observe it. When you blew over the paper strip, it went upwards. Why? Because blowing over the paper reduces the air pressure above the strip and increased pressure under the paper strip move it upward. So students, all these activities prove that increased wind speed accompanied by a reduced air pressure. That is why when high speed winds blow over the roofs of buildings, they lifts up and is blown away. Because due to high speed winds, air pressure outside the house decreases as compared to inside the house. Air expands on heating. Children, you must have seen that smoke or heat always rise upwards. Let us see an activity to find out its reason. Take a boiling tube, stretch a balloon tightly over the neck of the tube. Pour some hot water in a beaker. Insert the boiling tube with the balloon in the hot water. Observe it for 2 to 3 minutes for any change in the shape of the balloon. You have seen that the balloon gets inflated. Why it happens? It happens because air in tube gets heated, expands, and its volume increases. This fills the balloon and it gets inflated. Now, if we place this boiling tube in cold water, what change can be seen? Yes, the balloon gets deflated. This is because the air present in tube contracts on cooling, due to which its volume decreases and balloon gets deflated. It proves that air expands on heating and occupies more space and becomes lighter. That is the reason that the smoke goes up. Now we will learn about wind currents. Dear children, let us discuss some situations due to which wind currents are generated on the earth. As we all have studied that regions close to the equator get maximum heat from the sun. The air in these regions get warm. The warmer air rises up and the cooler air from the regions in the 0 to 30 degrees latitude belt on either side of the equator moves in. These winds blows from the north and south towards the equator. At the poles, the air is colder than at the latitudes about 60 degrees. The warm air at these latitudes rise up and the cold winds from the polar regions rushes in to take its place. In this way, wind circulation is set up from the poles to the warmer latitudes. The wind would have flown in the north-south direction from north to south or from south to north. A change in direction is, however, caused by the rotation of the earth. In summer, the land warms up faster and the most of the time the temperature of the land is higher than that of water in the oceans. The air over the land gets heated and rises. This causes the winds to flow from the ocean towards the land. These are monsoon winds. In winter, the direction of the wind flow gets reversed. It flows from the land to the oceans. The wind from oceans carry water and bring rain. It is a part of the water cycle. Students, now let us study about thunderstorms and cyclones. Do you know why we hear loud sound called thunder and see bright flashes of lightning during a storm? Let us see. Thunderstorms develop in hot, humid tropical areas like India very frequently. The rising temperatures produce strong upward rising winds. These winds carry water droplets upwards where they freeze and fall down. Again, the swift movement of the falling water droplets along with the rising air create lightning and sound. It is the event that we called thunderstorm. Children, as we all know that water require heat when it changes from liquid to vapor state. And when vapor condenses into liquid, this heat released into atmosphere. The heat released to the atmosphere warm the air around. The air tends to rise and cause a drop in pressure. More air rushes to the center to the storm. This cycle is repeated. The chain of events ends with the formation of a very low pressure system with very high speed winds revolving around it. This weather condition is called a cyclone. The center of a cyclone is a calm area. It is called the eye of the storm. Let us have a look on destruction caused by cyclones. Strong winds push water towards the shore at the time of cyclone. High-speed winds accompanying a cyclone can damage houses, telephone wires, trees, etc., causing tremendous loss of life and property. Journal information about cyclone. A cyclone is called hurricane in the American continent. In Philippines and Japan, cyclone is called a typhoon. Wind speed plays an important role in the formation of storms. The instrument that measures the wind speed is called an anemometer. Effective safety measures. A cyclone forecast and warning service. Rapid communication of warnings. Do not touch wet switches and fallen power lines. Cooperate and help your neighbors and friends. Advanced technology should be used properly. Dear students, now let us revise the chapter. The moving air is called wind. Air around us exerts pressure. Warm air rises up whereas comparatively cooler air tends to sink towards the Earth's surface. As warm air rises, air pressure at the place is reduced and the cooler air moves to that place. Uneven heating on the earth is the main cause of wind movements. High speed winds and air pressure difference can cause cyclones. Dear students, now let us solve some fill-ups. I am sure you know the answers. First, moving air is called dash. Yes, moving air is called as wind. Number 2, air exerts what? Yes, air exerts pressure. Number 3, increased wind speed is accompanied by dash air pressure. How wind speed affects air pressure? Yes, reduced air pressure. Increased wind speed is accompanied by reduced air pressure. Number 4, air fill up dash on cooling. What happens to air on cooling? Yes, air contracts on cooling. Last, uneven heating of the earth is main cause of what? Yes, you are right. Uneven heating of the earth is the main cause of wind currents. Now, I have 2 questions for you. Read your chapter carefully and think about these questions and then write them in your notebook. The first question is, what are cyclones? Question number 2, suggest some safety measures to be taken at the time of cyclones. So students, here we come to an end of this chapter. I hope you all understood it nicely. So dear students, keep studying and keep smiling. We will soon meet with the another chapter. Good day.